We have the 740 in the shop. We have some work to do to this thing before the next rally event. You can see we've already done a little bit of work. So I got rid of the stock box, which, wasn't a big deal, but obviously a little bit restrictive, especially since, I had a lot of the parts to make the cone filter work. So I had a 90-degree, or I guess like a 45-degree bend pipe that I sealed up with tape because it had like a bung in it that, I couldn't just put like a cap on. So I think we have like a 2.5 to 3 adapter, 3-inch 45 pipe, and then a 3-inch coupler to the 006, 760, 780 MAF, like the 3-inch one that's better, straight to a 3-inch HKS filter that I bought in Japan. So it works out great. I mean, and it had a slot for the PCV. So I ran a catch can that goes to the original PCV. I have to cut a little notch here so it's not like pinching it too bad. And then, so this is the inlet, and then this is the outlet, which goes to our intake. And then obviously we have a little check. Like we could check the level of it and then drain it, but it'll be interesting to see how much blow by we get from the engine's PCV that we can, use to help save the turbo a little bit. And then let's see, I had this PCV, or I guess this like ventilation oil cap that I put on. I cleaned it, made sure it was all good. I checked it, it works mint, so got that all dialed. And then the main issue that happened when we were running the event last time was this coupler came off, but we got that fixed. So I made sure all the couplers are tight. It's really sensitive to any sort of vacuum leaks past the MAF, obviously, just like the way it goes. So we got that sorted, made sure a lot of these are super snug. And then what else have we done? I shortened some of the vacuum lines. So like this vacuum line right here was like wrapped all the way around. Have it shortened. What else? This vacuum line broke, which I think is a part of the vacuum for the fuel system. Got that sorted. What else do we have? I put a battery tie down, like an actual battery tie down, so that's good to go. I put a turbo egg crate grill on. Let's see. This is since you guys have last seen it. And then we put a steering wheel, aftermarket wheel, in the car, which is pretty cool. I do want to fix some of the wiring, make it more legit. So I'll get that sorted a little bit later today. And then definitely want to clean up some of the stuff in here. I have to empty out the trunk again, but yeah, so we just did a few things to it since you guys have last seen it, but we have some parts over here. So these are front coils, and then we have front bump stops, front upper shock bushings, diff fluid. What is this? Oh, tie rod ends. We have accessory belt poly bushings. We have sway bar bushings. Oh yeah, sway bar bushings. And then we have new ball joints, rear straps for the coils, and LSD. So that'll definitely help because we were struggling with getting some grip in the car. Rear shocks, front shocks, all of this stuff I have linked in the description for you guys if you guys are curious about it. So this is pretty much the one weekend I have to get this car sorted. So we got a lot of stuff to do, as you can see. Even though, we've definitely made some improvements to the car. The shocks are the biggest thing, so we definitely need that. And you know, we're already making a little bit more power, more efficiency, but you know, the LSD for the grip, the shocks, and to make sure the whole front end is sound. You can see that we kind of have like some slight camber in the front and toe out. So it's definitely, she's definitely tired, and you know, we need to get that sorted. The rear bump stops are good, so we're definitely gonna hang on to those. The only thing we're doing in the rear is just replacing the shocks. The front end is where it's getting the works. But when it comes to a rear-wheel drive car, you want it to be softer in the rear and stiffer in the front, because that'll help give a little bit more grip in the rear. Like, you know, people take out the rear sway bars and stuff like that. I would definitely like to get a front sway bar for this car, but that's later down the road. So this will definitely do for now. It'll definitely help promote grip in the rear, which, you know, we were lacking, and especially if the new shocks can help kind of control all the bumps so we can just cruise and put the power down like that, we should shave off a ton of time come next event. So we got a lot of stuff to do, and I think it's going to start by putting the car in the air and trying to get the shocks out. So I just finished up one side on the rear. We put the new shocks in, and then I had straps to go in here, but they won't work, so at least we got one side dialed. Now I'm working on the other side, so basically I'm just going to remove the existing strap right there, and then to replace the shock you just have to remove this little rubber grommet, which exposes a 17 mil bolt. And then, but you want to do the bottom one first, that way it just, you know, it releases all the pressure from here. So this is a 17, but mine's coated with all the undercoating, and then a 19 mil nut on the back side. And then you kind of have to like pry open the two tabs that wedge it in. And then since these new shocks don't have the rubber grommets on the outside like the OEM ones, you just take the rubber grommets from the original shocks and put it on here, because they're not really worn out, they're just holding it in place. So you put that in, put the top bolt in first with the new shock, and then let it drop, and then jack up the rear, put the bottom bolt through, and then we're good to go. Alright, so we have made quite a bit of progress on the 740, and a lot of it I actually did not show you guys. It just came down to the circumstances with the time that I was given and stuff like that. I really just wanted to get it done, and also just focus on what I had to do to get the front suspension pretty much dialed. The rear was super easy. Actually, I didn't show you guys, but I ended up taking the rear sway bar off the car for additional grip, and super easy, just 2 bolts, but the new shocks should serve us really well. Something we had planned for the rear was to actually get an LSD in it, but we didn't have time for that yet. Took off the hood blanket. I put a bolt to hold that in, which Wasn't like that before. I don't think I've done anything else in the engine bay. And then as far as the suspension goes, we put IPD tie rod ends. We put IPD sway bar bushings, IPD control arm bushing. Just this one right here. We didn't replace the one that's over there. And then we put new ball joints. We put A premium shocks, some Amazon coils with fresh Sachs bump stops, which I gotta lower that so you can see the fresh bump stops. I wanted to replace the top hats, but the bushing that I got turned out to be like an OEM replacement of the control arm bushings, not the top hat bushings. So still have to tighten that nut down, but otherwise we got the suspension dialed and torqued down on both sides. So it should definitely it'll definitely be a good improvement over what we had. And I think that, having the stiffer front suspension will serve us really well, and having the softer rear suspension should promote some additional grip. So, we'll definitely get the LSD in before the next rally event. The car should drive so much better. Very stoked. So if you guys are curious about any of the parts I have on the car, I have it linked in the description for you guys. So we'll catch you guys soon. Peace. We're back working on the Volvo, and we want to put the LSD in, so we're taking out the axles, and in order to do that, we took off the caliper and then just took off the rotor, which honestly wasn't too bad. Then you disassemble the e-brake, which then gives you access to the 4 bolts that hold the axle in. So then we just use this axle puller, which did not even fit over the 5x108. So thankfully I have the 5x114 spacers, which they barely fit to. And then I think like 2 hits and it popped right out, no big deal. So now we just got to do that to the other side, and then we got to pull the Panhard bar down. We don't have the rear sway bar, so we don't have to worry about that. And then we'll have access to all the diff cover bolts. Then we can take the diff cover off, get the diff out, and then take the gear off to put the LSD in. If you're curious which LSD I went with, it's Racing Diffs. And basically it's this like spring-loaded diff, which has these like little like pockets that the diff sits in. And then basically, this pin's gonna hold it in place, but what you do is you put this whole unit into a vise, clamp it down, and then use these to hold the plates sandwiched together. So then you can put it in the diff, and then you have these that go between the LSD and your axles. And then once everything's seated and you have the pin in and everything, then you can actually go ahead and remove this, which will release the pressure onto the axles. And then you put your angle gear back on, put the diff back in, and now you've got a spring-loaded LSD. So it shouldn't be too bad. I've seen these things work pretty good, and I'm excited to try it, especially for the rally. So now we got to pull this big gear off. We'll clean everything, and then the LSD will go the LSD will go right in there, and that the new pin will replace the pin that's in there right now. So pretty cool. We got to figure out a way to get this cover off. So we have the ring gear on, which we got the LSD in there. We took the bolts out, so now it's fully secured. We put the pin in with the other pin that is like right here, and then I think this is the ABS gear, so we put that back on. It's pretty straightforward. Everything's got we cleaned it with brake clean, put some diff fluid on it, and now we're going to torque it down to 55 foot-pounds for the ring gear bolts, and then for the caps that hold the diff into the actual case, it's going to be 50 pounds. So we're going to do that, and then we should be good to go. All right, so where we left off yesterday, the diff is officially in the car, torque to spec. I have to tighten these down, and then I can put the fluid back in. I put a fresh crush washer on the drain plug. Have to get that tightened down. And then once everything here is good, then I could put the panhard bar back in, and then put the axles back in, make sure everything spins nice and good. Put the brakes back together, so the e-brake system, make sure that's fully functional, and put the rotors back on, put the calipers back on, and the wheels, and then we'll be good to go. So we're getting there. It's definitely a longer process than I was hoping for, but honestly, once this is done, then I shouldn't have to mess with it again. Very excited to get this done. It's just one of those things that we just got to get done, and then we won't touch it again. So just gotta buckle down, get it done, and oh my gosh. Sheesh.
That's like a 3-inch lip. Whoa.
No joke. Oh, this one's definitely towed out. Unless it's looking good, bro.
It is looking fantastic.
Like the front will definitely settle.
Oh, of course it will.
I feel like the fog lights look good. So we got the car officially done. She's definitely riding high in the front, but honestly, it's exactly what we need. So we're about to go do a quick night test and see how she does. We got the hella lights on. Got the battery tied down, some vacuum lines fixed, the intake. Cut a little piece of this so it's not pinching it so bad anymore, but the main thing is the suspension is good to go. And we got these puppies all tight, so good there. And we'll see how the test strip does, but the front already is like super soft, so we want it stiffer in the front, but we'll see what happens.